Yo, what is up, America? It is Keith the Trucker, and believe it or not, I am very good at fantasy football. I have been for fucking 20 years. I was doing that shit when it was writing it down on pen and paper, guys. So I'm gonna do a little draft recap in this video and talk about strategies and what I would do from draft position 5 in a 12-man league. This is going to be a Draftkings best ball um, draft I'll be doing right now. So we're going to talk best ball strategies in this video, okay? Okay, guys, so round one, we're pick number 5. Now, this is DraftKings, so you got to understand this is full point PPR. And getting a top tier receiver, in my opinion, is very important. And then what that does is allows you to try to stack him with your quarterback later. So you're going to see McCaffrey go, but we're going to have our option between Chase, Jefferson, Brees Hall. So I think these are elite receivers. I do like Jefferson. I don't mind JJ McCarthy, but in this case, I actually, if Chase and Burrow stay healthy, they're going to eat this year, and I really like them. What I would encourage you guys to do, we're going to go ahead and draft Chase here. What I would encourage you guys to do is you want to try to get into like at least 20 of these things. So that'd be like a $400 investment, right? But it's going to give you a solid chance to win the 1.5 million. Now, if you end up just getting like 5 or 10 or wherever over and over and over, this is actually the first time I've had a pick left of here, 7. So this is the first time I've had one of these elite receivers in Lamb, Hill, Brown, Chase, or Jefferson. And what I would encourage you guys to do is split up your player pool. You don't want to just keep taking Chase from number 5. You'll have some funky drafts where like a guy takes some Amon-Ra St. Brown or AJ Brown, way up here on like 1 or 2. So that'll kind of force your hand a little bit. But we're gonna resume this in 1 sec. Okay, so we're almost up on the board, and I really personally love to stack receivers in these things. I feel like they give you the best chance of popping off every week and winning. But if a running back really falls, like if Jonathan Taylor made it to us right here, I would strongly consider it because you can see there's a huge run going. And there you go. So he goes to pick before us. So we're looking at Brandon Ayuk, Kyron Williams, A-Chain, Kelsey. We could try to go Kelsey and maybe or Laporta and maybe get a positional advantage here. Brandon Ayuk, 1,400 yards last year, plays in a great offense. Could even be traded, but I doubt it. Um, yeah, so maybe we just play it safe with the 1,400-yard receiver. He's going to have some big weeks where he pops off, and hopefully he'll help us win. And what you guys got to remember, it's a really long season, so like things can happen. Like George Kittle could get hurt, Deebo Samuel could get hurt. So when you take these top 2 receivers, your goal, and this is what's nice about it, it's really going to let us stack because you kind of want an offense to hit, like even stacking up the Niners' entire offense, but making sure you get Brock Purdy, even if you have to reach on him just a little bit. But he's going a little later, and Burrow, he's like 8th off the board right now. So it's going to let us probably stack some other positions here, either another receiver or a running back if there's some value. See, I hate round 2. Round 2 to me is like, it feels like the guys in 3 and 4 are like the same. Round 2 sucks this year. So we're going to definitely be looking to get Chase with Burrow and Ayuk with Purdy in this draft. So those are going to be the quarterbacks we're targeting. Kyron Williams just went. He fell a little bit. It's because of that injury tag. So there's still an elite tight end on the board. We have Cooper Kupp. We got a couple good receivers here. Pittman. We have an elite quarterback on the board. And then we have an ETN who I actually really like, but Kelsey's not done yet, guys. I still think he's going to be at least a top 3 tight end. Gives us a huge positional advantage. We're going to go ahead and take him right here. Okay, guys, so since we got that elite tight end and they've had such a connection for years, we do have the option of taking Mahomes right here if he falls to us. And when you have, like, so since we're kind of looking like we're going to wait on RB, which a couple of teams have done so far, it's not the worst strategy if you don't get one of these elite guys. Hurts just went, so I'm expecting a little run on QBs potentially. Let's see what this guy does. I really do like Patrick Mahomes this year. I think the Chiefs defense will take a step back, And with Xavier Worthy spreading, stretching the field, and Marquise Brown, like they're going to be a better offense. It actually will probably lead to some better production for our guy Travis Kelce. So Mahomes is third on the list. I think this is a pretty good spot to take him. We're going to go ahead and take Patty here. Love him or hate him, he's really good, guys. I'm a Niner fan, so trust me, I don't like the guy very much. I actually make fun of him, but I also know greatness when I see it. And holding calls on his offensive line not called aside, he is very good. And I do like their offense this year. They really reminded me of what the Patriots have done in prior years. Like they didn't have it offensively last year, but they found a way to like do enough, especially in the playoffs, and they were just carried by an elite defense. So we're gonna start the run right here on quarterbacks. I'm expecting maybe one or two more to go before our next pick. There goes Kincaid. I really like him a lot this year too. So it's too early to take Burrow here. We're gonna be looking receiver or running back here. So let's take a look at what the board has at flex. So we got James Cook, White, Andrews, Joe Mixon's interesting in Houston, could be really good. I like Christian Kirk. We could go a double tight end strategy, take Pitts, and hope he has a good flex potential for us. We could stack Marquise Brown and go like all in on this Chiefs offense right here and go zero RB. That's kind of sexy. Let's see what comes off the board here. Let's see, because the last hmm, I really like ETN. Pacheco's good. Okay, so Stroud's going. Okay, so we're on the clock. You know, I don't think that Marquise Brown will make it back to us or Worthy. I trust Hollywood, the vet, a little more. So I'm thinking that, yeah, okay. So we could take Mixon here, get our first RB, maybe hope one of them falls to us. I doubt it. I think we're gonna pull the trigger on this Chief stack. Okay, this is what you want to do, and I'll tell you why. Because you want to go kind of all in on offenses to take down one of these best balls. This isn't like drafting like in your buddies league, okay? Like a season long. This is much different. And like if like something happens, right? Like God forbid injuries happen, your team's dead anyways. And if you get one of these running backs, right? Like so if you got a Brees Hall, you got a C-Mac, you got a Bijan, you got a Gibbs, you really only need to draft like four or five of them because the reality is if they don't hit anyways, like it's probably not going to matter. Your team's not going to hit. So we're going more of a zero RB strategy here. We have an elite tight end, we have an elite quarterback, and we have three really good receivers in Chase, Ayuk, and Marquise Brown. Plus, we have a chief stack. So in the next couple picks, this is where we'll start to maybe look to fill out, um, some value RBs that we can target, and we'll check on Joe Burrow because Stroud just went. So, it's going to be sneaking up on that. Okay, so Richardson just went. I think Burrow's going to be there for us if we want to do this double stack, which I really like, guys. Investing in one offense like this, like if your guys hit, they're going to just pop off together, and it really matters at the end of these scoring. Like if your offense hits, like it hits. So that's why spreading out your player pool is important. I just want to point out what this kid's doing over here. He's gotten six receivers: Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Neighbors, Metcalf, Keon Coleman, McLaurin. Not the worst strat. I mean, he could probably get some late value with quarterbacks. Like Kyler hasn't gone yet. That probably is he'll be targeting. Okay, so we are on the clock, and what we're looking for here is let's see quarterbacks. So Burrow's next. We're just gonna take our stat. We're gonna take our stack here, and then we're gonna look to get. I'm gonna give you guys a little hack right now. One of our maybe our only tight end other than Kelsey, because if he doesn't hit, this team's probably dead anyways. That's the way you literally got to view this. If Mahomes and Kelsey don't hit, our team probably doesn't win. So what we could do is we could just literally take two of them. We have the bye weeks now, which is big. So let's go see where Gesicki is down here. He's got a bye week at 12. I'm telling you, I really like this dude as a sleeper playing with Joe Burrow. That's something we could add on to that, absolutely. And Kelsey has a bye of 6, so that would actually correlate really well. Yeah, pick it up. You know what? I'll ride this pick out. We'll talk some more strategy. Let's look at the board. We still have zero RBs, so let's see if we can find a value running back on the ADP. We don't want to reach for anything. If Ken Walker made it here, I'd be really excited, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then Zamir White, we saw the Raiders head coach how much he, wants to run. There goes what's his face. Okay, so Swift would be our guy here. That's a dude I really like in Chicago. He's got great receiving core. Caleb Williams. Let's hope he makes it to us. And did he? Not yet. Evan Ingram. Okay, so this guy's reaching on tight ends. This guy just took a running back, so I bet you he's looking for a receiver right here. He's only got three, or maybe even a tight end too, since there seems to be a little bit of a Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram run going. Oh, we are on the clock, guys. So, or no, we're up next. Sorry. We're gonna take Swift if he's there. If not, we need a backup plan. Really like Brian Thomas Jr. That'd probably be the pick, and we're just going to go full zero RB. But Swift is there. That's going to be our first running back off the board. Now, what we can do is, since we're light on RB to this point, what we can do is try to lock down a backfield. And what I mean by that is we'll look for. I think that I don't believe in Herbert. I don't think the Bears coaching staff believes in Herbert. He's a decent player. But I want the guy that if Swift went down is going to get the touchdowns and the third down responsibilities. Herbert could play a little bit on third down. He's an okay pass blocker. But I really like Roshan Johnson. He passes the eye test. I think he's a great little handcuff that we can pair with Swift later. Okay, guys, I really like our team so far. I feel like we have a low end to high end RB2. Or maybe I said that backwards. A low end RB1 to high end RB2. I think that's what Swift could be in this offense. Packers have bad run defense. Vikings will be solid. Put a big bet down on the Vikings. If you want to know about what it was, ask me in a comment and I will tell you. But I'm not going to tell you guys on the video just yet. So I'm looking at best available position here. We have I love our quarterback stacks. Burrow, Chase, and Mahomes Kelsey. We have a legit RB now, and we have three really good receivers. I was hoping Brian Thomas Jr. made it to us here, but he went right there. So we are on the clock. Let's go check out the players. We got Love. Mostert's a pretty solid option. I don't trust Rice, JSN, Caleb Williams. Tony Pollard could be actually really interesting in Tennessee. I don't mind this at all. We're going to go ahead and take Tony. Maybe he'll bounce back. They have an okay offensive line, but what you're hoping is he just has the important responsibilities. Like he's getting some goal line touches, or he's at least catching a lot of passes. Because remember, this is a PPR league, and he's a very good receiving back. So Dallas probably didn't use him enough in that regard. So from this point on, we're looking for best available position, maybe some ADPs that have fallen. Like I don't want to draft a second tight end yet because there's no need at this point. I mean, these guys all went. These are a lot of good ones that I think all could be potentially top five. Any of these guys could be top five. So we're gonna wait on tight end. We're gonna look for receivers and running backs here on this next pick. So we're gonna go over to flex and just see what happens here. Let's see. Goff just went. So we got Harris. Brooks is an interesting prospect here. I like, Chubb. This would give us a really good little running back run that we could go on 3 out of 4 picks. Yeah, so hmm. I geez, do you go with the new shiny toy, or do you go with the guy like Chubb who, it's just there's not even any news on him yet. So let me move this down so I can click this out. We got 10 seconds here. I think we're just going to go with Chubb, guys. I think Chubb's a really good choice at this stage of the draft. I mean, we're talking round fucking 9 at this point. You can say what you want about Cleveland's offense, but maybe they don't work him quite as hard, but he should be a workhorse. I like the pick, and that gives us 3 straight running back picks. So now we're absolutely going to be looking receivers. Because what you really want to stack in this is receivers. And I have a lot in these mid-round ranges that I really like. So we're going to be looking for wide receivers the next probably 3 straight rounds. So you can kind of look around. Like what this guy did over here is actually pretty awesome. He got Scary Terry right here. And he got Jaden Daniels to go with him. I really like Jaden Daniels as a rookie. And then Getting Jalen Warren and Brooks, these guys are probably going to catch passes. His zero RB strat's actually really solid. And you look over here, this guy just took Goff and Love. He's got Laporta to go with Goff, so that's not the worst. Hawkinson's a value, guys. He's gonna be probably back within the first month. That's a great pick at this stage of the draft. So we're looking for receivers. So let's see what the best is. Got Lockett, Shaheed. I really like this rookie potentially. Lockett's solid, but I'm looking for guys that can like blow up on any given week, and that's Shaheed and Mitchell. Cooks is also an interesting option, but I think we're gonna take the rookie here, Donnie Mitchell, and just hope that he has some boom weeks because that's what we want. You start in DraftKings, so like you look at the roster makeup, we have two QBs, three running backs, four receivers. Maybe taking the third running back, there was a mistake. One tight end, but it's an elite one, okay? But you got to remember, you get three wide receivers that start every week, and you get a flex, which you almost always want to be a receiver. Almost always. So what we're going to hope for is that Mitchell has some boom weeks and he'll be that fourth receiver and that these three will just be really good every week. But that's what we're going to try to take in the next, like, probably three of the next four picks will be receivers. And we're going to hope one of those guys pops off every week, and that's our score for the week. That's how you take these tournaments down. Josh Palmer's interesting. That other kid, the rookie from San Diego, what's his name? It's like on the tip of my tongue. He's going to be a PPR monster, man. I really like Xavier Legette, Purcell. No, not McCaffrey. It's the other one that looks just like it. McMillan's an interesting choice. So receivers about to dry up here pretty quick, guys. So we need to definitely lock some in. Jacoby Myers is interesting. Jerry Jeudy. Dotson's interesting. Looking for maybe a second one with our quarterback. I think we just reach on my guy here. And I think it's Xavier Legette. I'm telling you, if you guys watch this kid in college, he's gonna be good, man. He kind of reminds me of like Debo Samuel and DK Metcalf combined. Like he's a freak, like athletically, like DK is, but he's also real physical. He could be really good in year one. And at this point, what we're looking for in the next pick is something to stack with one of our other quarterbacks. So, Kelsey, we have Kelsey and Brown, so I think we're done there. There's no real value in the Chiefs past that. But this kid from Alabama, Burton, he's good, man. And if something, God forbid, happened to Chase or T. Higgins, this I'm telling you, this could be an impact player in year one. He's probably going to be the third receiver anyways, to be honest with you. I think he's that good. Um, yeah, so we'll pick it up in a sec. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if Burton is there, he is absolutely our guy. It makes sense with this team, this roster construction, getting another Bengal. This guy's snaked us once already on a pick, so let's see if he takes Burton or not. I am guessing he's probably looking at best available based on his roster so far. Trevor Lawrence right here looks like a value too, guys. I like that pick a lot this stage of the drafts. Let's see. He took Matt Stafford, so back-to-back quarterbacks. That's why, because he only had Lawrence. So we're gonna absolutely take. It's a little bit of a reach if you look at the ADP here, but I'm telling you, where did he go? Did Burton? There he is. Okay, got him. Just barely 2 seconds left. I got to be a little faster. So I like that. We might have reached a little bit, but it's important to do that. And what you guys got to understand, this is three rookies, okay? But I'm telling you, what we've seen in recent years is rookies by about week 8 that really pick up. So if your offense is already hitting, like if Burrow hits and Mahomes hits, like especially Burrow in this case, right? On Burton, like this is a money fucking pick that could really help you like take down one of these fucking $1 million tournaments. That's how you have to be thinking. You have to think outside the box a little sometimes. So we're definitely looking for best available position. If you look at our roster makeup, we have two QBs, three running backs, six receivers, one tight end. So I like Gesicki. I know he's pretty much free at the end of draft. So right at this point, I'm looking at best available flex position. Cole Kmet's interesting. Quentin Johnson was drafted in the first round last year. He could be really good. Musgrave's an interesting tight end I like too at this stage of the draft. Are we on the clock? Yes, we are. So the other option is maybe taking hmm Purcell. No, we're not on the clock yet. This guy's up. Sorry. Purcell would give us insurance on Ayuk if something happened to him. He's a very shifty player. This kid right here, though, I like as a sleeper, man. I mean, Dallas literally fucking has Zeke, dude. That guy's dead. He's like fucking dust, okay? And this could be the new Tony Pollard. Remember when Tony Pollard actually was like a top six running back with Zeke in town? Zeke might have the goal line duties. That's great, but I think this is the pick. This is a good way to round out the running back core. That might be the last one we draft. That gives us four. We have we took three in a row. We may go one more. We'll see how the draft looks because we may only go two tight ends since they're on separate buys anyways. And you just hope that neither one of them gets hurt at that point. But what is a third tight end at this stage of the draft really going to do for your team, guys? If like Kelsey doesn't hit, this team's probably not going to have a chance anyways. That's the way you have to view these best ball tournaments. Okay? And this could be a fucking league winner right here. Nobody knows anything about him. I know a little bit. He was playing was it a Big 12 school? He was playing receiver somewhere, and then he transferred to Troy, I believe, and went back to his natural position running back and fucking went off in Troy. And I'm just saying, dude, like, you remember what Pollard did when Zeke was the only show in town, right? Pollard was really good. Zeke, pretty good pass blocker. He may, in the beginning of the season, get the goal line duties third, but this could be a second half season, just kind of guy that takes you to the top. That's what you want. Hopefully these guys all carry us to that point. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna just let this run. I was trying to keep these below 30 minutes. I guess we wouldn't even call it a recap at this point. Just call it a, I guess that's what we could call it as a recap. But once again, I think we're done at running back. Maybe if some like sneaky guy like Roshan's there, like one of the last picks, we take him. But I think we're looking for a receiver here. We'll see what's at tight end. Let's check the flex board. Personal's still there, guys. I really like Troy Franklin too. Yeah, that would probably be my next pick. Corley's interesting. They got some weapons over there, and we are actually on the clock. Or no, we're one away. So maybe Troy Franklin or Purcell. I think Purcell's good insurance to Ayuk if something happened to him, he got traded or something. I mean, they drafted this kid in the first round for a reason, right? I like the other Niners kid, Cowing, too, as a sleeper that you can get practically free at the end of drafts. But Purcell gives us a little like Niner like if they start really running a lot, maybe they get away from the use check kind of builds, and they go to more of this like 11 personnel, three wide receivers, Ayuk, Purcell, and Debo. One of those guys is probably gonna have a really good game every week. So if it's not Ayuk, it may be Debo, or it could be Ricky Purcell. So I think it's a decent roster construction. And we could actually look to take Purdy right here. I don't think he's gone yet. Or wait, no, he went a long time ago. Or no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went. He went well, a long time ago. My bad, guys. I knew he already went. Okay, so we're on the clock. We're looking for best available position at this stage of the draft, guys. So, you know, Bucky Irving could be an interesting running back choice. Let's see what the flex says. Likely could be an interesting tight end choice. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins in San Diego could be a good running back choice. I say we just take Dobbins and hope that he finally stays healthy and he's Harbaugh's fucking guy. I'm gonna pause the draft. Okay, so believe it or not, I think I'm actually looking for a third quarterback here, and I believe Troy Franklin just went. And I was gonna say like, yeah, see, he went right here. So this guy's gonna be looking to take Bo next right here. But we have Xavier Legette right here, and this may feel gross to some of you guys, but I'm telling you, this guy was drafted first overall last year for a reason. We're gonna take Bryce Young, however you want to pronounce it. We're gonna take him right here, and the whole idea here is that, hey, look, if they actually really improve as an offense, they have some weapons. Like Legette's legit. They got second year player Mingo. They got old man Thielen. They drafted a running back. They could take a serious leap forward in a very weak defensive division. So that's our third quarterback. We're done at running back. I really think we're gonna take Gesicki late. So I think at this point we're looking receivers and tight ends only. So we're looking for some sleeper receivers at this point. The stacks really don't matter. If we can find one that makes sense, we'll do it. Darren Waller's interesting. No one seems to want this guy. He said he might retire, is why. Sanders could be an interesting sleeper. Okay, this is my guy right here, and it's probably going to piss the guy off that just drafted Baker, or is about to draft Baker. But I'm telling you guys, I watched a lot of Huskies football last year, and I'm telling you, McMillan is really good. I'm not going to say he's as good as Rome, but he's not bad. I mean, he's like just barely a tier down. He actually, this is who I was hoping the Niners drafted instead of Purcell. Purcell and him kind of remind me of the same player, like very shifty, really good separation, good cuts. Evans is really old. Godwin is always fucking hurt. McMillan could be a steal at the draft, guys, where we just took him. Absolutely could be a steal right here in round 17. So we got three rounds left. So I really like that McMillan pick. He probably would have went. I'm hoping one of these guys doesn't snake our strategy of Gesicki right here because he's third next on the tight end list. I'm hoping these dudes don't take him. And that's going to be our next pick. We're going to make sure we get him. So there goes Darren Waller. So he took a tight end. He just didn't take our guy. Now, if you look at this point, Gesicki's 2 on the list. Sanders is interesting. But this is going to complete our Burrow stack. Um, let's go back to the draft board here. So we got, where do we get Burrow? We got Burrow with Chase. And then we also drafted Jermaine Burton. And now we have Gesicki. So this team is really dependent in order to hit. It's really dependent on the Bengals offense hitting. Like Joe Burrow absolutely has to be a top 3 to 5 quarterback at the worst case. And these dudes got to hit. So at this point, if you look at our roster construction, we're at 3 quarterbacks. We're done. 5 running backs. We're done. Well, if we took a 9th receiver and then a 6th running back, that wouldn't be the worst because we're banking on Kelsey Mahomes hitting right here. So I think receiver tight ends in play. The problem is tight ends kind of gross. You still have some decent quarterback options. You could snake one of these guys and just so maybe they hit. But Garendo is a great handcuff option. I don't trust Elijah Mitchell. I'm a Niner fan, guys. He never stays healthy. We could take Sanders as a sleeper tight end. If you look, Lazard with Aaron Rodgers, interesting. AJ Dillon's an interesting choice at this stage of the draft, but we're done. We're pretty much done on running back. So I'm going to kind of look at the receivers here. Make sure we're not on the clock. Okay, we are on the clock. So you got this Rice kid. I don't know too much about him at this stage of the drafts. I think we might just go with my Niners sleeper here. I wish we had Purdy for this to make it like a super stack with Cowing. Let me look at what's that tight ends. Zach Ertz could be really good. We're going to take this kid Sanders. That's what we're going to do because we have Bryce Young. It makes sense. That just kind of hit me at the last second. But if you look at our roster construction, our 3 quarterbacks, right? So quarterback 1 is Mahomes. We have Kelsey. And we have, didn't we take a Chief? Yeah, we did. Where the fuck is he? Oh, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Okay, and then we have Burrow with Chase up top. And we got Burton right here. And we have Gesicki. So telling you guys, dude, Chiefs and Bengals offenses, this is a great way to build from number 5 pick if you're lucky enough to get Jamar Chase. Okay. And then our third stack is Sanders, the tight ends. with Xavier Leggett right all the way back right here. Where the fuck do we take him? There he is. Okay. Telling you this kid's good. He's gonna be good. With our third quarterback, Brees Young. So we have the ultimate stacks. This is what you guys want to do in your drafts. Right here, what I just did. This last pick to me is actually fucking irrelevant. So I'm just gonna ride this video out. We're at 30 minutes. I try to keep these under 35. But I'm telling you, this is a great strategy from number five when you can build stacks of three offenses and then you have a bunch of flyer picks. Like Dobbins could be a fucking league winner if he stays healthy. And, they paid him more than they paid Gus Edwards. Or maybe actually, you know what? I think they paid Gus Edwards more. So I had that backwards. But, anyways, Purcell with Ayuk, kind of picking some Niners here. This kid could be an absolute sleeper. He could be the next Tony Pollard. We took Tony Pollard. So we're up next. So, like I said, look at the roster construction. Three's good here. We got three tight ends. So this is absolutely a receiver, and we're just taking a fucking flyer, guys. Somebody that maybe could win a league, and I think we just keep it with the Niners because nobody knows about this kid. We're gonna take Jake Cowing. Let me double check the board, make sure I didn't look over anybody. Michael Thomas, man, well, as far as he fallen. Hunter Renfro's a free agent. Watson Gallup's a free agent. Rice, so to me, it'd be Rice, Atwell, or my guy Cowing down here. Juwan Jennings is a good player, but I'm telling you, the Niners want this element of downfield speed that Kyle Shanahan has not had the last couple years. So, hey, guys, if you made it this far, let's show you a recap of the draft board. We took Chase, we took Ayuk, two really good receivers. We took an elite tight end, an elite quarterback, and they happen to be stacked, which is always what you should strive for in these best ball leagues. We're gonna stay, and then we took Hollywood Brown to go. So we took a Chiefs trio right here in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's a great way to build your roster. Then, because we had Jamar Chase, we made sure we got Joe Burrow. You could see Richardson went. And then there was actually a pretty good void to Kyler Murray here. So just locking down our guy to get that stack. And then knowing if you already have Chase, you want Burrow, you can get Gesicki free at the end of drafts. I'm telling you, he's going to be a really good fit in this fucking Bengals offense. I promise. And then we just stack some fucking mid-tier running backs who these are good players. I mean, Swift, Pollard, and Nick Chubb. If we were drafting last year, shit, man, everyone was scared of Swift, and then he kept rising as the boards went on, right? Chubb was a top 15 pick last year. Pollard was a top 15 pick last year. So you're just hoping these guys in new scenarios with these two, new scenery, just research, let's get Swift going with the Bears. They have a lot of fucking receivers, going to open some space for him. He's probably going to have a really good year. Same with Tennessee, Will Levis, maybe he takes a step forward. We'll see. And then Chubb, you just hope he gets back to form, back to health, and you get him by at least a couple weeks into the season. Then we just took 3 straight rookies, which I can't stress to you guys enough at this stage of the draft. Take flyers on these dudes. You've seen it in the last 5 years. Like Deebo Samuel, his rookie year, from week 8 on, so week 8 to week 16 in the fantasy finals, he was a top 8 wide receiver. Deebo Samuel, rookie season. You take these guys, especially the fucking athletic freaks like Xavier Leggett, okay? This guy right here, you really trust Zeke to really be the bell cow that does everything for Dallas? No, this kid's going to get some usage in his rookie season, especially if he picks up the playbook and he can block. Dobbins could be a league winner potentially. Maybe we'll see. Purcell, I like it because we have Ayuk. So if something happened to Ayuk, Purcell would be like elevated. Um, and then we have a little Brees Young with Xavier Leggett up top, and this kid from Carolina, Sanders, the tight end. So we have a little Carolina stack, and you're just hoping. I know it's gross because they were terrible last year, but the NFL has a lot of fucking turnover year to year, guys. And then we have Gesicki up there with Burrow, of course, and then we have Cowing. So we have 3 9 receivers without Purdy. So if you go that route, you take Ayuk. What you could look to do on another draft is do the exact same thing. You take Purcell You take Cowing late and you stack them with Brock Purdy. But I really like our stacks, guys. That's actually the end of this. That's draft position number 5. And I'm going to do these as often as I can for you guys. And we're going to try to build some strategies with the player pool. The strategies will be similar, but your players are going to change a lot drastically. Peace out.